everyone.
Hi, everyone.
And we are moving forward with the expansion from Abraham now in our own way, in our own feelings, in how we are perceiving it and how we are looking at it in our own way. And it's so beautiful because there is differences in the perception of how we are looking at things, right? And it's the beauty of all that is created into this world in the physical form, because there is differences in how we are perceiving things and how we are sensing things. And
Mhm.
it's our own vibration to it, and she talked a lot about the broadcasting and looking at things in a new way and feeling the senses in the new way, because you telling about you having the same old story going on again, but it's when you are changing your vibration, when you change the way you feel about things. I would say when you are feeling different about the way you feel, then things are changing. There was a lot of that stories about a dog, and a lot of that was a really good one. So I will open that up for you, Jen, to expand that dog story she talked about today. It was really good one because in the beginning the person was very annoying by the dog, but then after a while he shifted and starting to unconditionally feel more good and love to that dog, and then the dog was moving in that direction too toward him. So it's all about attraction, 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 but it's not the outside, it's about the inside. So we can open up with that because it's all me, it's all you, and it's all each and one individual
Mhm.
experience.
Ah, I
Yeah.
love this. This was such a powerful broadcast today, and it really did highlight and emphasize, just like you said, Espen, it is all about us, what we are broadcasting and what we are receiving. And being deliberate in that space, and knowing that all of the other people, all of the animals or beasts that, like Abraham likes to call them, on the planet, and every element of this universe are cooperative components to our vibration, right? It all begins with us. So it was really wonderful. They had two separate stories about dogs, so it was really good. The first one, it was a lady that worked with a gentleman, and the wife too, but the wife was sick for a while, and they had a dog, and this dog was quite exuberant and into kind of everything, and had even bitten somebody, right? It would just kind of get into everything. And um, this lady was quite bothered by this, and felt even that they cared more about this dog than they did about her. And it might have even been expressed. She might have had such a strong feeling in that way that she drew those words from them, right? But the bigger picture in that is, right, it was her vibration. And then there was another story, and I love because they shared it right after, about a dog too, a really exuberant kind of dog, lots of energy, kind of, definitely bouncy all over the place. And this lady noticed at first she would kind of want to, keep the dog away a bit because it was so energetic and so filled with life. But then she stopped pushing against the dog. And when she stopped pushing against the dog, all of a sudden she knew that she discovered that this dog wanted to be near her, especially when she was listening to Abraham or when she was working. And so it wasn't always so bouncing off the wall, but the dog was just showing her vibration. And we're always doing this for others. We're always showing what others are calling. And if we have some of that active vibration within us, we'll match it, right? We can be a cooperative component for them. So if somebody is feeling frustrated and we're kind of sharing that feeling of that as well, um, you know, there might be a bit of a disagreement, or there's going to be something. But the thing to understand about this is it always comes from us. And we can so appreciate that dog, so to speak, right? Abraham went so far as to say, that dog is your best friend. That dog is showing you what you're pushing against. And the harder you push against or define that dog as the problem, the more he is going to appear as the problem, right? Because there is no assertion in this universe. Everything we focus upon, we draw to us. And the broadcast today really emphasized that on so many levels. If you are worrying, the thing that you are worrying about, two pieces in place. One, your inner being, absolutely holding true to your desire, calling you to it. But from your human perspective, if you're strongly holding that worry in place and worrying and worrying and worrying, you will attract matching components that make you feel justified in being worried, justified in being overcautious, justified in all of that. And you won't feel good, right? It doesn't feel good to worry. So it really is us recognizing nobody is doing anything to us. And that over exuberant dog, right? Well, bless that dog. He's showing you that you're kind of competing with this dog. You're kind of pushing up against this dog. But if you ease in to it, if you say, thank you for showing me that I'm feeling threatened by you, well, of course, the dog is going to exhibit that right for you. If you are feeling any kind of negative emotion right now, and you are emphasizing that, it's coming to you. There's nobody doing anything to us. This universe has the ability to give us anything and everything we've asked for, anything and everything we desire, despite stay-at-home orders, despite viruses, despite differences in work, different changes. We have the ability to feel unconditionally good. We have the ability to find balance in all situations, unless we're pushing up against the situation. That's when you can't find the balance. That's when it seems like something or someone is doing something to you. But that something or someone that you think it is, it's actually you doing the pushing, doing that, inviting that. But the beautiful thing is, the moment you recognize that, you can begin to shift. I've identified you, dog, as my enemy. And actually, you're not my enemy. You're just a dog being a dog. You're a dog showing me my dominant vibration right now. Thank you. Thank you. And when you shift even that much, things start to shift. Things start to change. And it's beautiful that life offers us so many opportunities like this each and every day. Expansions on that, Espen?
I love it so much, and something that was so good that I heard Abraham talk about it. You know, more you're getting out of the head of it, meaning that you're lessening the resistance to what is. Then you will not be focused on those things, because you can't be in alignment and feel misalignment or feel things that bothering you or irritating you, or you can feel frustrated because it's not the frequency of it. Mm-hmm. So it's a beautiful thing to broadcast into that energy, to segment intently, meditating, appreciating, and more we do those things, and if it feels good to us, and it's something that you follow your path, you follow the way that feels best to you, and you feel that there is something there, and I can feel now the attraction has shifted. Now this thing works better. Now this things work better. I have a better relationship with this person. I had a better situation with this work or with this kind of thing, and it just feels so more easy to breathe and just feel how good it feels to just be. And to be in the now and enjoying those things I do. It's not so important what I'm doing anymore either. But I'm enjoying those things I'm doing right now, and it's the path of least resistance. It's like quieting more of the mind, letting the activity of that energy, just because there is a lot of things. From the beginning we've been born, we are having. She says something. There is a strong rocket of desires, and there were three things that. Was very fun. She talk about. It was interest. You remember that interest and the fun and the satisfaction.
Mhm.
And they talk about these steps and those things that you calibrating into one. When you are interesting, then you are interesting for some time, then you get less interest, and then you get more into the fun part. And when you're feeling fun for a while and you're gonna feel less, less more part of the fun, then you go to the satisfaction. And it's just like a beautiful like thing. Motions is just moving. A lot of the things what I also know, when I see from my own perspective, sometimes when I've been observing, when I go from acceptance, I go from accepting what is, I feeling that I'm enjoying more of what I'm now am in, in the energy of it. When I'm not having resistance and then I'm accepting and allowing the energy to come through, I am enjoying more what I do. Then when I do something I love doing, then the enthusiasm comes through. And it's just like a beautiful stream of energy, and it's allowing us to feel more and more of those things natural, and it comes to us because emotion they come and go, but it's like how we are like we are broadcasters.
Mhm.
What do we, where do we like to broadcast, and what do we like to broadcast in? What
Mhm.
do we like to broadcast, and what is the broadcast that feels good to me? And also, what is the path of least resistance and the path most aligned? What is that simple thing that feels good to me right now that easily can, I'm just thinking about it and it feels good? Because immediately when the improving of the feelings start, and when you feel in your alignment more, then everything improves in your conditions, in everything, because now you don't look at it in the same perspective. You don't see those things in the same way. Because immediately when the energy arises and your alignment becomes more, things changing outside of you, it feels more refreshed and new. It feels like everything is new and refreshed, and it is from the well-being, it is from who we really are. It's always new and refreshed and expanding and becoming more and more. So
So good.
do you love to expand out on that, Jen?
Well, yes, and you said so many beautiful things, but I'll start with this component first. Um, we are transmitters or broadcasters. Those are synonyms, so use whichever one feels better for you. And also receivers. We are both, but we're not doing them at the same time. Now, when we get really, really, really good at it, it can seem like that they are almost on top of each other, right? They're just broadcast, receive, ask and it's given, ask, right? It's very quick. Um, but it's important to recognize that, with the things that we are broadcasting, we get to choose. And what we're broadcasting is always answered. So those things that we're sending out, if we're in a space of a step one moment, as Abraham would define it, or that moment of contrast, that problem or that situation, we're broadcasting a frequency of that out. Our inner being is immediately on the solution to it and has it and is calling us to it, right? But if we stay broadcasting on that frequency of the problem, hmm, we just kind of, that problem grows and it becomes more and it'll begin to seem overwhelming, right? It'll begin to seem like it's showing up now, not just in one area now, but in several areas. And pretty soon it seems like it's everywhere. So the idea is to be good at both broadcasting and receiving, and recognizing that they're different. They're different frequencies. The asking is different than the answering. But as we get better at this, they become so close together and so seamless that it can be a very, very beautiful process. So, in understanding that piece, that it's all vibrational, what do you do? What if this is like new to you and you're used to broadcasting complaints and things that are going wrong, right? We have to acknowledge, okay, I've been putting a lot of focus on the problem frequency, this channel in essence. I've been tuned to the blues channel, so to speak. Not that I like blues, but blues music, but a negative frequency, a channel that feels like that. You have to acknowledge and shift to a better feeling frequency. So some very easy ways to begin doing this are to look at the things that you're doing in your life already. And one of the examples they gave today is Esther would go for a walk, right? And she would walk, it's basically a loop that she walks on, but she can either choose to start her walk going left or she can choose to start going right. And it's important, if you've always been starting out doing whatever it is going left, consider going the other way. So start changing a few, don't have to change everything, but start changing a few of those patterns a little bit in your life, right? So if you're going for a walk, go the other direction. If you're, I don't know, if you have a certain way that you know, go about your work, maybe shift that patterning a little different. Do things differently because you'll see things differently. Things will come to you. They'll appear different. This is a wonderful way to easily start to expose yourself to different options that are available to you. And it can be as simple as, if you go for a daily walk, walking in a different direction. Or it could be preparing your meal in a different way, or shifting up some sort of a routine that you have in your life. But what if you are feeling like really you got like everything feels off? Well, there's another beautiful thing that you can do. You know, if you're kind of feeling overwhelmed by some of those problems, some of those negative frequencies in your life. So this is a wonderful, wonderful process to help you feel that you always have choice. You are free. There's always a better choice for you. So what you can do is take a big sheet of paper and draw a big, big circle on the paper. And inside the circle, put a series, she said 12, put a series of circles in there. Now, they don't have to be perfectly spaced. They don't even have to be perfectly round. They can just be in there any way you want. And then inside of those circles, write the things that you're feeling, right? Whatever it is you're feeling that are part of your day, right? And if you're feeling in a space of overwhelmment, it could be, you know, getting the kids ready and getting the laundry done and doing my work project and, you know, having, you know, meal prep, and just write them all in there. Whatever it is, just get those things. That circle on the outside is kind of defining your day, your feeling, whatever it is. And then those little pieces in there, you're putting what has your attention. It could even be easy things like take a shower. I mean, make your bed. Whatever it is, just put them in there. And then just look at it and pick the easiest one and go about flowing in that direction. And this is the idea, to take our path of least resistance. If you're feeling you have a lot of resistance on your path, take that path of least resistance. Do the easiest thing first. When you get really feeling good and now you feel like you have so many good things coming in, you may want to define it as your path of most allowance, right? And you can start out saying your path of most allowance all the way along. But the idea is you do the easiest thing, the thing that is most interesting. And even if inside that circle, everything feels a little heavy to you, I promise you, some things will feel better than others. And you want to start with the one that feels the best, the one that feels the easiest, the one that feels like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then when you're done with it, color it in. Color it in with a nice bright color, a marker or something. And then go on to the next. You'll feel a shift, a sense of deliberateness come to you. So, and why I'm pointing this out is because we always have a choice. We are always free to change the channel, to shift our frequency. And we can start wherever we are. If we're feeling relatively good, great. But there's still, you can always feel better. Okay, there's not a plateau here. There's not like I'm feeling good and this is it. No, there's always more. But if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like life has more demands of you than you have to give, begin there. You have to begin where you're at. You have to, in essence, be okay with where you're at, because where you're at is the perfect place. As a matter of fact, it's the only place. And you will feel relief if you've been feeling those negative emotions. They will come to you. They will feel so soothing. You will feel that energy coming through. You'll start to feel your guidance flowing through, and you'll start to have this wonderful sense of deliberateness, this sense of enthusiasm for life, right? And and you'll desire to be deliberate. You will desire to do the other thing that I recommend, right? And I know you do too, Espen, is to get out ahead of it. Segment intend. So before your segments, you'll just define, I'm going to find joy in doing these dishes. I'm going to find, I'm going to feel good as I prepare this meal for my family. I love them so much. And then before you sit down to eat, I'm going to really enjoy this time, with the family as we dine together, right? Deliberately begin shifting. Deliberately come into that sense of well-being. The well-being is strong. No matter all the stuff that's going on around, the well-being is stronger. But you have to tune to it. Otherwise, it feels like it's not there. So, yeah, so expansions on that. Espen?
Feels good.
It does feel good. I know. Isn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good to know that we're always in the perfect place? We're always in a good place. Even if you feel like, man, this is not the perfect place. But when you stop and go, I am where I am. I think I'm going to draw that big circle. And I'm just going to write it down. I'm going to put the stuff that's swirling around me, I'm just going to put it on this paper. And then I'm not going to do that silly thing that sometimes is recommended. If you've ever heard somebody say, do the hardest thing first, don't do that. Do the easiest thing. Allow the law of attraction to assist you by building your feel-good momentum. And that's what's happening when you give yourself that sense of motion forward, that sense of feeling better, that sense of accomplishment. If you like that feeling, you'll feel it. The law of attraction is here to assist you. And as you begin feeling better, guess what? The law of attraction is bringing you better feelings and better feelings. And then your phone rings and somebody says, oh, this, and it's a nice call, or there's a surprise, or you go to your mailbox and look at there, right? Things will come to match you. They'll come to greet you. And it's so beautiful that this universe is set up in this way for us. So we can feel our focus. So we can feel our deliberateness in all of it.
Yeah, just like this, I'm having my AirPods in and I hear your vibration just come through and it feels good in my body. So just listening to you.
Yeah.
And isn't it so nice when we are broadcasting to alignment, we can hear those things. We can hear those vibrations. We can feel those vibrations. We can see those vibrations. And it feels good. The vibration of from alignment always feels good to us. And we can broadcast to that energy more and more and be in that frequency. And as we are moving in the direction of being in the frequency of who we truly are, everything will more and more line up for us easy. But also we're getting out of the head of it. What we, like I must have this now or this kind of it. There is no resistance to it. It's just an enjoying, unfolding energy to everything you're going through in this journey now and forward. And it's just lining up things more easy and easy. I see it for myself as well. So many funny things. And this segment intending part. Thank you, Jen and Super Dave. Been having classes about that. And it's so many beautiful things with just segment intending and feeling the feelings before it happening. Actually, to segment intending, feel the energy of it. And that's the beautiful things, because we can't control the outside, but we can control the way we feel about things.
Yes.
And to broadcast into that energy. And the same with the appreciation every day, to just sitting down and writing and just like, I appreciate this. And just sitting there and feel and appreciate this. And it's like I'm tuning into that vibration more and more and training and practice this vibration more and more in that space. it just becomes more and more, and it don't it, and it's just like be more aware of it as well. And the meditating as well, I just love just quieting my mind, less it's lessening the resistance, and the energy arises, and it feels easier now to quieting the mind, just feeling the well-being, feeling the inner being, and having some attention from within, never lose myself to the outside, and to feel the breathing just as how it is allowed, because I don't have to think about breathing, the breathing happening anyway. So it's just breathe in, breathe out, but also be conscious aware of the breathing, just like,
Mhm.
and then you can just feel the energy, how easy it comes through. Just like, oh, it feels good just to breathe. Just as simple as that. Simple things, just like, and it's very simple. And it's like from the well-being, it's all simple. It's not difficult at all. It's no hardship. It's not hard work from the well-being. It's not like you have to struggle to get in there. You have to feel the pain, get the pain, like, get the gain, or what, how do not remember that word, but it's not no wobbling and energy in well-being. It's just very clear
Yes.
about about who you really are, and it simplifies everything. It's
Yeah.
very simple and easy and
Mhm.
gentle and general. Tell that story to yourself, and you will see how things are unfolding. Because how we are telling a story, it's the story, it's the way we're gonna be experienced our life.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we are so free to tell our story how we want it to be. That's our freedom.
Yes. Oh, your energy. Oh, it's so good. And I love what you shared. It's so inspiring, right? When we are deliberately getting out ahead of it, right? This is us tuning to that frequency, right? And then allowing ourselves to, in essence, be a part of the segment, to allow that segment to come. It's us deliberately focusing and trusting that our focus is bringing to us, through the law of attraction, that which we've asked for.
Mm.
This is really what's happening. So what I encourage you to do, if for anybody out there, right, whatever, in any area of your life, and I'll just refer back to the dog situation. If you have a dog in your life, right, that is driving you bonkers, right, or a cat, whatever, any pet,
Mm.
something that's driving you bonkers, and you've been just thinking, this dog is a problem, this dog is a problem, what am I going to do about this dog? Instead of pushing up against that dog, right, anymore, breathe, acknowledge, acknowledge. There's a dog in my life, and I am where I am, and this is a good thing. And accept that there's a dog in your life. If you're that lady working, there's a dog at your job. So, hey, the dog is there. The dog's not going. No matter, and the harder you push against that dog, the more he's going to push against you, right? So, but any problem you have, if you are feeling like your children are, maybe you've had a lot of time with them together now for a while, and maybe they're starting to, crawl into your skin a bit, instead of pushing up against them and go, I am where I am, and I have kids, and I'm glad they're kids. I'm glad they feel free to be who they are. I'm glad they feel free to express themselves, right? If it's your bank account, well, stop fretting over your bank account and pushing up against it. Just go, well, this is good. This is a good thing. And my bank account is where it's at in this moment, if you're not pleased with it. But it's okay. It's okay. Because I know that what I've asked is given. And I know if I stop worrying about my bank account, I can give it a chance to improve. But as long as I'm worried about my bank account, that check's just not showing up. Those funds just aren't depositing. The work just isn't coming in, right? But when I can be easy about it and go, things always work out. It's okay. And they will. You'll start to feel the relief. Allow yourself to shift frequencies. If you've held a belief within yourself that worrying is helpful, it's time to let that go. If you've held a belief in yourself that you need to stand up in protest against that which you don't like, it's time to maybe shift to a softer focus. Something more like just acknowledge it. Well, we're on a stay-at-home order. and we're going to be wearing face masks. So it is what it is. And we're going to have fun with it. How about let's make some fun face masks if that's what you're doing, right? So instead of pushing up against it, you'll see we each have the ability to feel good in any and all situations. We each have the ability to feel good unconditionally. We each have the ability to find our balance. And in doing that, you will see things open up. You'll see, it's like when you walk the loop in the other direction, you'll see things like that you haven't seen before. So if you've been really focused on any problem, whatever it is, acknowledge it and just say, well, it is what it is. I'm going to flow forward. I am going to shift into a place of saying, well, the dog is going to be here. Might as well make friends, right? It's amazing how things can change for you. But it's also very true that you are the only one that can change it for you. There's nobody doing anything to you. But this universe is filled with cooperative components that are ready to match your vibration. So that dog is being a cooperative component. Love that dog. He's showing you what you need to see. Or if your kids are being extra rowdy, they are being cooperative components to show you that you're being a little irritated, mom, and we're going to give you that to match your vibration. You're vibrating irritated, so we're going to be extra crazy, right? Or whatever, right? It's when you start to see it that way, you can go, okay, okay, this really is my game. This really is my life. This really is my vibration. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, be easy about it.
And this is so wonderful because immediately when you acknowledge it, you know that you have the energy and the vibration and the frequency to match up more of those things that you want it and to feel good about it, to match up the vibration of what feels good to you.
Yeah.
That you don't have to hold on your attention on those unwanted things. There is a buffet of life. There is a buffet of things on the table, but you don't have to choose the unwanted and stay there and paying attention to.
Yeah.
It's something lovely about it. Pandemics happening. We don't, you know, talk about interesting, fun, and the satisfaction. Okay, interesting pandemic, not so interested. What else? What is more interested? Oh, take a walk. You just train yourself to a different vibration. Do moving in a different direction. Like instead for go to right, you go to left. Follow your own steps. Follow your own guidance. Follow what feels best to you. You
Yes.
will be guided on your way. The feelings always tell. Oh, this doesn't feel so good. No, not so interesting. What? And no, I don't have to go into that. And I'm not so interested in that. I will tell you why I'm not so interested because this has been going for so. No. Stop. It's okay. Not so interesting. What feels a little bit bad? This is more interesting. You see, it's a beautiful bridge from interesting, not so interesting, but this is more interesting. And it's no resistance in that one, right? And also when you then bridge over to what's more interesting,
Yeah.
what is more interesting, you can feel that energy. What's more interesting?
Yeah.
It's better to take a walk, just getting out. And I liked it. What's fun outside? I liked it when just like there is a beautiful weather and just to moving some places and hear the birds and maybe to run, and it's fun for me. It's and then it's like, what is satisfying? Oh, just my well-being. You will be guided. You will feel the energy of it, and then you will be calibrating between those three things. It's just like acceptance and enjoyment and enthusiasm. Okay, can I accept that there is this is the pandemic, but I accept that I can change and I can choose to focus on something different. But it's okay that it is there. I can accept this. This is what I see now coming to me, and I hear this, but accepting. I'm not resisting it. It's okay. What is more interesting? What is more interesting? And you can just go in that direction. Then you feel more the enjoyment, and then something else. What is satisfying? I love playing music. Not doing it for a while. Starting to just if you're having for myself, I'm taking my guitar on and start playing, and I just feeling such an enthusiasm coming through, and I just like can play for hours, and I forget about time and space, and then it's like, oh, it's gone. 6 hours is already gone. It's just like, and it feels so fast. So it's just like you will be guided on the way. Everyone had their own guidance system for winning. We will be guided. When we are bridging this and having more and not too much attention to, there is things to coming, acknowledge it right away. But when we are more having less resistance to what is coming in the contrast, and just like, oh, not preference, my preferences, not so interested in this, but appreciate that it's come to me because I now more clarify what I do want. And it's like, I'm more interested in this. This feels a little bit better. You can feel the bridge, and yet there is no resistance to what's happening in the moment of it. So when that moment is gone, what you're experiencing the contrast of it, it's already expanding, and you will move forward in the newness, and you will be more focused and deliberate in those things that feels good to you. And then there will be shifting in your vibration, in your energy and frequency, and you will attracting and having more of those experience of what already feels good to you right now. And as you're moving forward, feeling better and better and better it gets, better it feels, and more to come.
More to come. So beautiful. Yeah, I love it. This has been so magnificent, Espen. So awesome. Just want to add one short little thing, and I think this really sums it up. I was visiting with one of somebody this morning, and she was sharing about her little grandson, and he had woken up and he had a little bump on his head. He must have bumped himself while he was sleeping. And he said, oh, kind of hurts. And then he came a little bit later and he goes, I can still feel it, but I don't care. And he went about playing and having fun. And that's a wise little boy. So, just acknowledge it and then just move forward. Everything is working out for you. Really is. This has been so magnificent, Espen. I love it so much.
I love it. Me too. And thank you, Jen, for everything. It's so inspiring listening to you always. And everyone who's in here, it can feel the alignment. But it's in ourselves. It is so wonderful. And as we are all in this together, it's expanding and it becomes more. Yes. So it feels more and it becomes more and it allows more of who we truly are and everything we desire to be. And it's easy, it's gentle and general and always more. Or more. No destination, just more. And that's the fun part of it. Mm. That is satisfying part of it, that it's just more.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
So wonderful. So love you all so much.
Love you all so much. So good. Absolutely.
Yes.
Amazing. And more to come.
And more to come. Bye, everybody. Love you.